morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Friday, number 17 day for this month of March 2023. My name na Capo Daniel, una own countryman, Mr. No Connie, Ambazonian FBI. And I'm come today with another episode of our daily podcast, a program where we bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work out for this journey to our freedom, to the independence of Ambazonia. Good people of Ambazonia, would wake up today with the reality of the face of Paul Biya's war of subjugation against Ambazonia. As officer of the B, the elite force of the Cameroon army, Officer Ewume John, who goes by the nickname Moja, took his military unit into the house of two Ambazonians, arrest them, and according to information that is emerging, they were both shot not far from their homes. Their body was dragged to the street of Munya, where he staged a propaganda video.
Amba talk anyhow, you see anyhow. You know, rest. Now these people that come for Sunday, that they can't go, they can't disturb now. Push, now so they'll go all the one after the other. Any Amba is there for you, can't give me a gun.
Officer John Ewume of the battalions of the B killed this young Ambazonians male, brought their dead body, and with a gun intimidating the population, asking them, are these not Ambazonians? And some of them, out of fear, accept, yes, these are Ambazonians. And he sent a message to General Sagat of the Ambazonian forces who are in Fako, the mountain lions, telling them that this is how all the boys are going to die. The problem is, the boy, Officer John Ewume, is talking about are not Ambazonian combatant, as we originally has thought based on the information that were available from the video materials that he had produced and from media coverage of these incidents. These two boys, we have now learned, are two boys who left Bamenda. They are all natives for Bamunkumbat. These are two boys who left their village, traveled to Buea to study in the University of Buea. One of them, by the name Ngole Linus, was in the Faculty of Law and Political Science. And the other one, Bu Ako, was studying Master. Something that we don't believe an idiot such as Officer John Ewume could meet up with them in their intellectual level. These two students represents the millions of Ambazonians who are bearing the brunt of Paul Biya war of subjugation. They were removed in their house because they were Ambazonian males. They were brought to the street and executed, and their body displayed as Ambazonian males. As Officer John Ewume said, this is how all the boys are going to be killed. He's talking about the conduct of Paul Biya's war. The Cameroon military have been systematically, for the past 5 years, targeting Ambazonian males, labeling all of them combatant, regardless whether they were fighters or not, whether they were evidence or not. The conduct of Officer John Ewume represents the conduct of the entire Cameroon army. We have been seeing dead bodies on our streets from Mamfe, Mezam, Ekondo Titi, Pinyin, you can name the rest. These are not acts of a vigilante group. No, this is a well-organized military intelligence unit of the Cameroon B, led by Officer John Ewume, that often disguise themselves with civilian clothing. We have seen them in their number. There are 12 of them, all of them living in his village compound in Boassa. This unit have been actively going after Ambazonian innocent civilians to use them as terror and fear tactics against Ambazonian population. They have gone and raided the house of General No Pity of the Marine Forces of Bambalang, arresting his pregnant wife alongside with his children, dragged them and handed them over to the Cameroon military for detention, and they were detained. Because Officer John Ewume is not just a traditional ruler, but is an active duty member of the Cameroon elite force and acts on behalf of the state of Cameroon. That is why he is capable of holding people and handing them over to the system for safekeeping and to use as a means of torture and terror to our people, to frighten them, to abandon their quest for freedom and succumb and submit themselves to slavery with La République du Cameroon. Officer John Ewume is the face of La République du Cameroon army, who was received and welcomed by the Prime Minister of La République du Cameroon, Mr. Ngote. These are their savages. This is their house nigger. These are not just military men, but we have seen them together with Barrister Charles Moki. Officer John Ewume was part and parcel of the campaign team and the electoral team that Paul Biya have used to select Barrister Charles Moki. When you look at Barrister Charles Moki, remember who is behind him and who made him the representative of La République du Cameroon in Ambazonia as a senator. They are the savage people like John Ewume who stands behind him. The video you are hearing, the sounds, is a video footage of Officer John Ewume and Barrister Charles Moki celebrating his election as an elected or selected member to become a senator representing Paul Biya in Ambazonia. These are the face of Cameroon colonialism in Ambazonia. After all dust have settled, there is a family, Mbamun Kumbit, whose two sons, who had promising future, one studying law and political science just like myself, as I did some years in the university in Chang, with the whole family looking up to him as a young man who is going to graduate one day and become a lawyer. No, the life of Joel Linus have been cut short by Cameroon B for the purpose to do propaganda video and give terror to Ambazonians to be afraid to defend themselves. The life of Mbu Ako, who was doing his master after graduating from the University of Buea, one of the prestigious Ambazonian university, have been cut short by John Ewume. La République du Cameroon, they are supporters of genocide, like Charles Moki will be celebrating, while the family members and the kinsmen of these young men will be so afraid even to tell their story, as my experience in this job as an activist has been. I've met parents who are so terrified, who will cry, being afraid to tell the effect of Cameroon terrorism on them. If it has not yet come to you, go and ask the family of these two young men. They would have never seen it coming. They were thinking this Ambazonian war now on our own fight, no be their fight. Until Cameroon terrorism reach you, you will not know the fear and terror that we are fighting to cut off from. We must do everything humanly possible to free ourselves from Cameroon terrorism and occupation that has brought us so much pain and humiliation. To add pain to our wound, to throw salt to our open wound. Mimi Mefo, a francophone who is married to an Ambazonian, went online to provide cover, moral support for the actions of the Cameroon military, led by John Ewume, by creating a story that these young men were the Ambazonian fighters who attacked CDC, even when the evidence are showing to the contrary. Even the Cameroon B, John Ewume, was saying in the video that these are children, these are forces that came to attack on Sunday to disturb the elections. And we know that there was no attack against the election in Buea. Despite all the evidence of the contrary, we should now see Mimi Mefo for who she is. Somebody who manipulates public opinion against Ambazonian nationalism and targets Ambazonian nationalist group. It is evidence in all of our publication as she will always prop up groups with flawed philosophy and less organized to make sure that Ambazonian nationalism is buried forever. May God help us all. While we lick our wounds, recruit soldiers, buy more weapons, prepare more IED to make sure that we give them hell, I want to remind our people that we have put out a military order suspending the traffic in the Bengui Road. This is not just a show of force. This is due to active ongoing operations. We do not want to put our civilians in between our forces and the enemy. Please stay away from that stretch of road. The road is suspended until further notice, until you hear me again come to speak on behalf of our forces that the road is open. Please consider that road an active military conflict zone. It is ongoing. As I speak to you, please do not take the risk to use any motor vehicle or any benzikin on that road. There will be an incident, I guarantee you. Capo Daniel, looking out for you. Signing off.